Two words come to mind today and after a very newsy weekend: contradiction and contortion. Here's a contradiction. President Trump called off a planned military attack against Iran because he said the perimeters, his word, of a deal had emerged and new talks would begin to bring it to fruition. Iran denied new direct talks were even happening, something the White House later sheepishly acknowledged. Here's a contortion. The U.S. Treasury recently used billions, we don't know how many billions, to stabilize the Japanese yen. This to keep Japan's economy healthy enough that it doesn't panic and sell U.S. bonds that service our $39 trillion debt. The U.S. has not propped up the yen since 2011, but knows it's partly to blame for where Japan's economy finds itself, which is suffering from higher energy costs because of the war with Iran. Here's another contortion. Republican Senators John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina agreed today to support Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's confirmation as Attorney General after receiving written assurances from Blanche that the so-called weaponization fund is dead and a sweeping Trump settlement with the IRS covers his past misdeeds, those of his family and associated businesses. Not everything in all directions forever, which the senators feared it might have. Yet, former DOJ lawyers told CBS News Blanche's new assurances, even though they're in writing, could easily be reversed and do not, to their minds, constitute a legal concession at all. Here's another contradiction. After much ballyhoo and bluster, the Justice Department has dismissed an indictment against three-time Olympian David Hearn for felony vandalism at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. The DOJ said there was no evidence Hearn vandalized anything. DOJ blamed the Department of Interior for misleading it. Turns out, the DOJ said late Friday in a court filing, damage to the pool was, quote, the result of flawed installation by the contractor and the rush to complete the project prior to events associated with the America 250 celebration. Trump immediately contradicted the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, who sought the indictment. Today, he took it a step further, saying Jeanine Pirro choked and folded like an umbrella. One last contortion. This, a continuation of serialized national contortions when it comes to tolerance for a president profiting from his office. Over the weekend, Truth Social, the social media platform that Trump holds a 41% stake in, began selling subscriptions to gain early access to Trump's market-moving posts. Subscribers will pay up to $100,000 a month to stay ahead of non-subscribers, allowing them to rake in millions in high-frequency trading markets. Trump, of course, controls his posts, and his company will now directly profit from said posts. Amid all these contradictions and contortions, we turn with confidence, as ever, to Nancy Cordes at the White House. Nancy, catch us up on Todd Blanche's fate and Senators Cornyn and Tillis.
Major, good to see you. So Todd Blanche had said over and over again, this anti-weaponization fund is dead. It's not going anywhere. And that was not good enough for Senators Cornyn and Tillis, who knew very well that the fund could be resurrected. They were demanding that he put it in writing. Over the weekend, he did just that. He issued an order saying not only that the fund is dead, that it's not going anywhere, but that it is not going to go anywhere in the future. That appeared to be enough for Cornyn and Tillis, who released a statement today saying that they are pleased and they are now looking forward to voting on his nomination. So that basically ensures that he makes it out of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and then it goes to the full Senate for a vote where he will need near unanimous support from Senate Republicans. President Trump did not make this any easier for his AG nominee, because even as Todd Blanche was assuring senators that this anti-weaponization fund was dead, President Trump kept saying that he wished that it wasn't dead and that he felt that people who were convicted, served time for their roles on January 6th, were treated horribly and deserved compensation. Now that it is officially in writing that this fund isn't going anywhere, President Trump says he's going along with it. He thinks that Blanche did the right thing, but that he still thinks it would have been a great thing for people who were targeted, in his view, by their government. Take a listen.
He's going to do a great job. Everybody knows it. And I understand there's been a sign-off, but I don't know what they agreed. I think Todd Blanche agreed to reconfirm things that he's already said, and what he said was okay.
So he says he doesn't know the specifics, but whatever Blanche signed off on, he's okay with it.
And Iran and talks, and whether they're direct or indirect or even substantive.
On that, President Trump said that the talks are happening even if the Iranians deny it. He says that he doesn't know why they deny, and insists that talks aren't happening. But he says those talks are on. He even insisted at one point today, Major, that the Strait of Hormuz, there's going to be a deal in place by tomorrow to get it reopened. So we'll watch to see whether that is indeed the case. But he also said that that Iran really had a close call, because if they hadn't come back to the negotiating table, in his view, again, Iran denies this, that he would have bombed them harder than anyone has bombed anyone since World War II. Take a listen.
This is the last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is the last chance for them to sign a good document.
So President Trump saying that this is Iran's last chance to sign a deal, but he has said words very similar to that before, Major.
Boy, is he ever. Nancy Cordes, North Lawn of the White House. Thanks so much. CBS News national security analyst Aaron MacLean joins me now. He is also host of the School of War podcast. Aaron, there's a marquee song from the musical Annie that comes to mind. Sun will come out tomorrow. Tomorrow the Strait of Hormuz will be open and the sun will come out. I'm not trying to be glib, but that is the thing I do with you frequently, because there is a part of this that just lends itself to it, because we keep talking about the same things in the same ways.
By my count, Major, this is now the 5th time that the president has threatened massive escalation against Iran, and then either said that allies from the region are intervening or a deal is imminent and back down. Basically, once a month since March, he has done this. It does not inspire, I think, fear in the hearts of the Iranians every time that they go through this cycle. It doesn't inspire confidence in our partners in the region. And it's possible there could be a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz tomorrow, but color me skeptical.
Right. And when we say that, as the president has acknowledged, the Saudis call, the Qataris call, United Arab Emirates call to don't do this massive strike. It's not as if tomorrow they're not going to be as adamant not to do that, because what are they worried about? They're worried about their own energy producing plants and infrastructure.
That's right. And look, does the United States military retain the capacity to level some sort of massive attack on Iranian infrastructure?
Of course it does.
It does. And those targets, there are plenty of targets. Could be the electrical system, could be all kinds of stuff. But there are two things you got to worry about then. One, as our partners in the region are worried about, what does the counterstrike look like? What kind of targets get hit in places like Saudi Arabia in response? And two, is the political outcome going to be what the president wants it to be after all this time? Will the Iranian regime weather whatever that attack is for some time and still hold on to the strait by its fingernails? What do you do then?
And the president has said correctly many, many times, the United States is better buffered from oil price shocks than it would have been 20 years ago because of massive increases in natural gas and oil production here. That's true. Some of it's with policy before Trump, but a lot of it reflects Trump policy. But that doesn't mean everyone is so buffered. Japan is not. And the intervention over the weekend to stabilize the yen strikes me as part of the war story.
But we live in a globalized economy, so the prices of commodities interact across the globe. One nation's financial crisis becomes another nation's financial crisis pretty quickly. So I think you're right to draw that connection between Japanese financial issues and the energy issue in the Middle East. And this is another way in which the president is really in a bind. If he escalates, the Iranian counterstrike against energy targets in the Gulf could harm energy markets. If he stays the same, we stay the same in this constant sort of simmer of problems in the market. If he retreats, the Iranians still control the strait, which means they still get to mess with energy traffic at their leisure indefinitely going forward. It is an unenviable set of choices that he has dealt himself.
And when an ally needs currency stabilization because of a war the United States helped launch, that's a real consequence.
It is a real consequence. This story isn't over yet. We don't know what's going to happen yet. The president may yet follow through on his threats, But like I said, it's not a great range of choices right now.
Aaron MacLean, great stuff as always. Thank you so much.